All right, welcome back. Uh, I'm kind of behind, so let me catch up. Let's see, I'm behind, so I'm gonna read. This is day 13. I've made a video on this, but I didn't post it, so I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna try to get all the chapters done today. Am I crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. It's like reading the whole book of Deuteronomy pretty much in one sitting. I wonder I wonder how long of a video that is. You know. So let's go look at the YouTube because they have that. Okay, let's see. So it takes like if you just listen to it straight through. Let's see, 2 hours and 46 minutes. Wow. Okay. But obviously, I don't want to just read, like straight up read. So, but I think a lot of the times I'm gonna have to. So, let's get started. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain, over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizhaba, uh, Dizhab. These are the 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel according to all that the Lord has given him in commandment to them. After he had slain Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, which dwelt at Ashtaroth and Adrai, on this side Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, The Lord our God spake unto us in Horeb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mount. Turn you and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and unto all the places nigh thereunto, in the plain, in the hills, and in the vale, and in the south, and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and unto Lebanon, and unto the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which the fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and their seed after them. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as uh, the stars of heaven for multitude. The Lord your God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you. How can I bear alone, myself alone bear you your cumbrance? So what is it? Cumbrance. The trouble, the burden. Oh, Okay, let's continue. And your burden, oh, it's the same thing. And your strife. Take you wise men and understanding and known among your tribes, and I will make them rule over you. And he and ye shall and he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and officers, and over tens, and officers among your tribes. And I and I charged your judges at the time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, the stranger that is in with him. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear. Uh, Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I will hear it. And I command you at that time all the things which ye should do. And when we departed from Horeb, we went through all that great and terrible wilderness which ye saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites, as the Lord our God commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea, and said unto you, ye are come into the mountains of the Amorites, which the Lord our God doth give unto us. Behold, the Lord thy God hath set the land before thee. Go up and possess it, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath said unto thee. Fear not, neither be discouraged. Interesting. And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us, and shall search us out the land, and bring us word again by what way we must go up, and into what cities we shall come. And the saying pleased me very, very well, and I took 12 men of you of one tribe, and they turned and went up into the mountain, and came down into the valley of Eshcol, and searched it out, and they took fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down unto us, and brought it again, and brought us word again, and said, it is a good land, which the Lord our God doth give us. Notwithstanding, you would not go up, but rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God. And ye murmured in your tents, and said, because the Lord hated us, he had brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us. Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our heart, saying, the people is greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to heaven. And moreover, we have seen the sons of the Anakim there. Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them. The Lord your God, which goes before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt, before your eyes, and in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that the Lord thy God bare thee as a man, doth bear his son, and all the way that ye went until ye came to this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe the Lord your God, who went in the way before you to search out a place to pitch your tents in fire by night, to show you what way you should go, and in a cloud by day. And the Lord heard the voice of your word, and was wroth, and sware, saying, Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land which I swear to give to your fathers, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he hath trodden upon, and to his children, because he hath wholly, completely followed the Lord. There's a little thing there. He fulfilled following the Lord. Uh, Also, the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, saying, Thou shalt not go to in thither. But Joshua the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Moreover, your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go thither upon them, and I will give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn you and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then ye answered and said unto me, We have sinned against the Lord. We will go up and fight according to all that the Lord our God commanded us. And when ye have girded on every man his weapon of war, ye were ready to go up into the hill. And the Lord said unto me, Say unto them, Go not up, neither fight, for I am not with you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies. So I spake unto you, and ye would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of the Lord, and went presumptuously into the hill. And the Amorites which dwelt in that mountain came out against you, and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hormah. And ye returned and wept before the Lord, but the Lord would not hearken to your voice, nor give ear to you. So ye abode in Kadesh many days, according to the days that ye abode there. For chapter 2. Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Lord spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. And the Lord spake unto me, saying, Ye have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, and command that the people, saying, Ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau, which did dwell in Seir, and they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves. Therefore, meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land, no, not so much as a footbreadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. Ye shall buy meat of them for money, that they may eat and shall and ye shall buy water of them for money, and ye shall drink, for the Lord thy God hath blessed thee in all thy works of thy hand. He knoweth thy walking through this great wilderness. These 40 years the Lord thy God hath been with thee. Thou hast lacked nothing. And when we passed by from our brethren, the children of Esau, which dwelt through uh, the way of the plain from Elath and from Ezion Gaber, which we turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. And the Lord said unto me, Distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. The Emims dwelt therein in time past, and the people a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, which were accounted giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Emims. The Horibs also dwelt in Seir before time. But the children of Esau succeeded them when they destroyed them from before them and dwelt in their stead. Ooh, hold on. Huh, that's weird. As Israel did unto the land of his possession, which the Lord gave unto them. Now rise up again, said I, and get you over the brook Zared. And we went over the brook Zared. And the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we were come over the brook Zered was 30 and 8 years, until all the generations of the men of war wasted out of the from among the hosts of the Lord, as the from among the host, as the Lord sware unto them. For indeed the hand of the Lord was against them, to destroy them from among the host until they were consumed. It came to pass, when all the men were consumed and dead from among the people, that the Lord spake unto me, saying, Thou art to pass over through our. Hold on. Let's see what that sounds like. Hold on. I don't think it's not
Ah,
on. Oh, okay. Just like I thought it would sound like. Bummer. Okay. The, Thou art to pass through Ar, the coast of Moab, this day. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress not them nor meddle, for I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon, because I have given it unto the children of Lot for a possession. That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt there in old time, and the Ammonites called them Zazumins. A people great and many and tall as the Anakims, but the Lord destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them, and dwelt in their stead, as he did to the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horims from before them. And they succeeded them, and dwelt in their stead, even unto this day. And the Evims, which dwelt in Hazarim, even unto Uzzah, the Caphtorims, which came forth out of Caphtor, destroyed them, and dwelt in their stead. Rise up, ye up, take your journey, and pass pass over the river Arnon, and behold, I have given into thine hand Sihon the Amorite, the king of Heshbon, and his land. Now, wow, all these people that were descendants of Israel were able to defeat all the giants, and God even helped them. Why were the Israelites afraid of their own God? Seems like. Um, so it says the Amorites, the Sihon, the king of Amorites of Heshbon and his land, began to possess it and contend with them in battle. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear the report of thee, and shall tremble and be in anguish because of thee. Verse 26. And I send messenger out of the wilderness of Kedemoth unto Sihon, king of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, Let me pass through thy land. I will go along the highway, and will not, and neither will turn to the right hand nor the left hand. Thou shalt sell me meat for money, that I may eat, and give me water for money, that I may drink. Only I will pass through on my feet, as the children of Israel, which dwelt in Seir, and the Moabites which dwelt in Ar, did unto me, until I pass over Jordan into the land which the Lord our God giveth us. But Sihon, the king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by him. For the Lord thy God hardened his spirit, and made his heart obstinate, that he might deliver him into thy hand, as appeareth this day. Hold on a second. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before thee. Begin to possess it, and they may inherit his land. Then Sihon came out against us, and he and all his people, to fight at Jahaz. And the Lord our God delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people, and we took his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men and the women and the little ones of every city. We left none to remain. Only the cattle we took for a prey unto ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we took from Aro, which is by the brink of the river of Arnon, and from the city that is by the river unto Gilead. There was not one city too strong for us. The Lord our God delivered us all unto us. Only unto the land of the children of Ammon thou camest not, nor unto thy place of the river Jabbok, unto the cities of the mountains, nor unto whatsoever the Lord our God uh, forbade us. Then we turned and went up the way of Bashan, and Og, and the king of Bashan, came out against us, and he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And the Lord said unto me, Fear him not, for I will deliver him and all his people and his land into thy hand, and thou shalt do unto him as thou didst to um, unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. So the Lord our God delivered into our hands Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we smote him until none was left to him remaining, and we took all the cities. At that time there was not a city in which we took not from them. 60 cities, all the region of um, Argob,
Argov.
Gov, okay, or Argob, I guess in English. The the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fenced with high walls, gated and barred. Besides unwalled towns, a great many, and we utterly destroyed them as we did to unto Sihon of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men and the women and the children of every city, but all the cattle and the spoil of the city we took for a prey to ourselves. And we took that at that time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites, the land that was on this side Jordan, from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, which Hermon the Sidonians called Sirion, and the Amorites called it Schneer. All the cities of the plains and all Gilead and all Bashan unto Salchak. Um, I don't know. Actually, I don't know about this one.
Salcha.
Salcha and Edrei, the cities of the kingdoms of Og and Bashan remained of the remnant of the giants. Behold, his bedstead was the bedstead of iron. It is not in Rabbath of the children of Anaman. 9 cubits was the length thereof. He had like a super cow king. And 4 cubits the breadth thereof, after the cubit of a man. And this land which we possessed at this time from Ar, which is by the river Arnon, and half Mount Gilead, and the cities thereof gave I unto the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and the rest of the Gilead, and all Bashan, being the kingdom of Og, gave I unto the half tribe of Manasseh, all the region of Argob, with all Bashan, which called the land of giants. Jael the son of Manasseh took all the country of Argob and the coast of Geshuri, um, and I don't know. Hold on, let's try these.
Geshuri.
Yeah, Geshuri, and let me try to pronounce this. Uh, Makchatai, Makchathi.
Ma'achati.
Okay, and called them after his own name, Bashan Havoth Jair, um, unto this day. And I gave Gilead unto Machir, and unto the Reubenites, and unto the Gadites. I gave from Gilead even unto the river Arnon half the valley and the border even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, and the plain also, and the Jordan and the coast thereof, from Chinnereth even to the sea of the plain, even to the salt sea under Ashdoth Pisgah eastward. So verse 18. And I commanded you at this time, saying, the Lord your God hath given you this land, possess it, and ye shall pass over armed before your brethren, the children of Israel, that are meet for war, but your wives and your little ones and your cattle, for I know that ye have much cattle, abide in your cities, which I have given unto you, until the Lord have rest unto you, brethren, as well as unto you, and until they also possess the land which the Lord your God hath given unto them beyond Jordan, and every man unto his possession which I have given unto you. And I have commanded Joshua at that time, saying, thine eyes have seen all that the Lord your God hath done unto the two kings. So shall the Lord do unto all the kingdoms thither or whither thou passest. Ye shall not fear them, for the Lord your God, he shall fight for you. And I besought the Lord at this time, or at that time, saying, I, O God, saying, O Lord God, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness and thy mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to thy works and according to thy might? I pray thee, let me go over and see the good land that is beyond Jordan, that goodly mountain and Lebanon. But the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, and would not hear me. And the Lord said unto me, let it suffice thee, speak no more of me of this matter. Get thee up on the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward, and northward, and southward, and eastward, and behold, it was with thine eyes, for thou shalt not go up over this Jordan. But charge Joshua, and encourage him, and strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. So we abode in the valley over against Beth Peor. Interesting, because Beth Peor, I think was, or maybe they just called it Peor in Exodus. I mean, Numbers. Um, chapter 4. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord your God of your fathers giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught of it, uh, from it, and that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. So Baal Peor changed to Beth Peor, I think. The house of Peor, instead of the false god of Peor. For the men that followed Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. Verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me that ye should do so in. Um, I got lost here. Give me a minute. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Okay, I'll put verse 6 at the top. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath um, God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take um, heed to keep thyself and to keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes hath seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them unto thy sons and unto thy sons' sons, especially the the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb, when the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear the words, that they may learn to fear me, and all that they um, shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. Verse 12 or 11. And ye came near, stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Wow, that is awesome. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard the voice. Well, this reminds me of my testimony. I was um, around 10 years old, and uh, I wanted to know about Jesus, if Jesus was real, because I went to Bible study and they talked about Jesus, and I remembered only one verse from that study. It was Revelation 3:20, how God would come in. He would knock at the door of your heart, and he wants to come in to live with you and sup with you and have dinner with you, and have a relationship with you. And I wanted to know if he was real, so I asked my friend if he was real, and he said he was real. Um, and so maybe the next couple weeks, I had went to the hospital and got
I went to the ICU because of tests and things because I I had yellow hands and things like that, and I wasn't growing right. And so they found out that I had hypopituitarism. But so I was kind of bummed out, and I wanted. Uh, I told God that maybe I won't be living, and so I just need your help. I need your help because I don't think I'll always be living, and I'll need your help. And then when I was talking to him like that, um, he showed me a vision of this darkness, these this particular thick darkness, and I felt his presence and his words that's speaking unto me. So this verse means a lot to me. Um, no, I didn't exactly see who Jesus was. I just knew Jesus was there, and uh, he asked me some questions, and I said I did love him, but I told him not to show me this darkness ever again. I didn't know that this darkness was part of his glory. That it wasn't something supposed to be scary. Yes, there is an outer darkness for those who never call upon the Lord, that never uh, hear Him, they don't care about Him. There's an outer darkness for them, but there's this darkness that has peace, the peace of God. Um, okay, let's continue. So that's my testimony, and eventually I went to camp with my brother a couple years later, and we received Jesus as our Savior. Again, because like I liked it. All right. Anyway, um, and he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them unto the two tables of stone. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Verse 15 at the top. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude that day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. So God did not want that to happen, so he never showed exactly who he was and how awesome he was. Um, but I'm sure he gave Moses a little sneak peek, but not of everything either, um, because he's a man. Uh, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, and the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth upon the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars and even all the host of heaven, should shouldst be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth iron, out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, and swear that I should not go over Jordan, that I should not go into the good land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. but I must die in this land. I must not go over Jordan, but ye shall go over and possess that good land. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he made with you, and made you a grave and make you a graven image or any or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy God hath forbidden thee. So don't do that. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire. I wonder if this is how they say like a Jehovah or um, Yahweh. I wonder what this is. Consuming fire. So let's look at this real quick. I don't know if I can look two words up at the same time. Hmm. I'm gonna have to look this up at some other time. We're gonna read. This is very interesting. God is consuming fire. He cannot be stopped. Even a jealous God. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number, wherein the Lord shall lead you, and there ye shall serve gods at the top, the work of men's hands, wooden and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell, but from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God. Thou shalt find him if thou shalt seek him with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon you, are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice. For the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He's an all consuming fire. He's a jealous God, but he's a merciful God. He's jealous for his people. He loves his people so much, and he wants to protect his people. And even though they uh, turn away from him, he's merciful. He will not forsake thee, nor destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. How gracious is God. Verse 32. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing, or hath been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived and live? Or hath God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation. Wow. Assayed. Let's look at that. Let's see. Tempted or proved. Interesting. Okay. Uh, put someone to the test. To take him from a nation and put him, like, you, God showed how awesome he is um, by the temptations and by signs and by wonders and by wars and by a mighty hand and stretched out arm and great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes. All you have to do is remember how awesome God is to bring it to pass, to bring to pass some of the things that God has done for you. Unto thee it was showed that thou mightest know that the Lord, He is God. There is none else besides Him. Out of heaven He made thee to hear His voice, that He might instruct thee, and upon the earth He showed thee His great fire, and thou heardest His words out of the midst of the fire. And because He loved thy fathers, therefore He chose their seed after them, and brought thee out of His sight with His mighty power, out of Egypt, to drive the nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in, to give thee their lands for an inheritance, as it is this day. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that the Lord, He is God in heaven above. This sounds a lot like Isaiah. There's a lot of this Isaiah feel that I get from that. Uh, and upon the earth, and He is the Lord. The Lord, He is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. Thou shalt keep, therefore, His statutes and His commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee and thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever. Verse 41. Then Moses severed 3 cities on this side Jordan toward the sun rising, that the slayer might flee thither, which should kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in time past, that and that fleeing unto one of these cities he might live, namely Bezer, in the wilderness, in the plain, the country of the Reubenites, and Ramoth and Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan and Bashan, the Bashan Heights, the Golan Heights. So that's what it is. Um, of the Manassites. Verse 44. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came forth out of Egypt, on this side Jordan, in the valley over against Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote after they were come out of Egypt. And they possessed his land, and the land of Og, the king of Bashan, to the 2 kings of the Amorites, which were on this side Jordan from the sun rising, from Ar, which is by the bank of the river Arnon, even unto the Mount Sion, which is Hermon, and all the plain on this side Jordan eastward, even unto the sea of the plain under the springs of Pisgah. Pretty big, thick chapters, but that's okay. Chapter 5. And Moses called all Israelites and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and the judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. And the Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. Wow. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount, out of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord. For ye were afraid by reason of fire, and went not up into the mount, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Sorry, my wife is first. Okay, where was I? I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness thereof, anything that is in heaven above. Sorry. Any graven image or any likeness or anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow before thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Love that verse. Thou shalt not make, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Wow. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but in the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou and nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. And remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and thou um, that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence, and throughout a mighty hand and outstretched arm before thee, the Lord thy God. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day, honor thy father and mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and uh, that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Verse 17, thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou uh, covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his maidservant, his manservant or his maidservant, his ox or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. These words the Lord spake unto all you in the assembly of the mount, in the midst of the fire of the cloud and the thick darkness, with a great voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them unto me. And it came to pass, when ye heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, For the mountain did burn with fire, that ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders. And ye said, Behold, the Lord our God hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we've heard his voice out of the midst of the fire, and we have seen this day that God doth talk with man, and he liveth. Now, therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God any more, then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that hath heard the voice of the living God speaking out in the midst of the fire as we have, and lived? Go thou near unto Go thou near and hear all that the Lord our God shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it. And the Lord heard his voice of your words when ye spake unto me. And the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people which have spoken unto thee. They have spoken, they have well spoken, they have well said all that they have spoken. All, oh, that there were such an heart in them that would fear me and keep my commandments. That's what God wanted, to put a fear, a special type of fear in him, so that it would be maybe easier to keep his commandments, more desirable to keep God's commandments. That's what he wanted, to love him, to serve him, and to keep his commandments. The commandments that are not bad, that it may be well with them and with their children forever. Go say to them, Get you into your tents again. But as for thee, stand thou here by uh, by me, and I will speak all these commandments and statutes and judgments which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Verse 32, and ye shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside from the right hand or to the left. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess. Now, these are the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land thither ye go to possess it, that ye might that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments which I command thee today, which I command thee, and thy son and thy son's sons, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord thy God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou rise up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy door, of the posts of thy house, and upon thy gates. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy father, to Abraham, and to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee greatly and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things which thou fieldest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards, olive trees which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou uh, forget the Lord which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name, and ye shall not go after other gods, uh, of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord uh, is God, is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee from off the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as ye tempted him at Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. Verse 18. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in thy sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to cast off, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Lord hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time come, saying, what meaneth the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments the Lord our God commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and the Lord showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, and upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household. before your eyes, that he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us a land which he sware unto our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he hath commanded us. Chapter 7. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater than and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy upon them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter and thy daughter thou shalt give them unto his son, and his daughters to thou shalt not take unto thy son. Hold on a second, I'm a little bit tired. What was the saying? Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly, but thus shalt ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any other people, for ye were the fewest of all the people, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you from the house of bondmen, and from the hand of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth the covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to sorry and keep his commandments. Where was that? And to keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Verse 10. And repayeth them that hate him to their face, and destroy them that will not be slack to them that hate him. He will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep his commandments and his statutes, and the judgments which I command thee this day, to do them. Therefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. Hold on. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. And he will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and will bless the fruit of thy land, thy corn, thy wine, and thy oil, and the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male nor female barren among you, or your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all sicknesses, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt which thou knowest upon thee, and but will lay upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for there will be a snare unto you. That will be a snare unto you. If thou shalt say in thine heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God uh, brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Verse 20. Moreover, the Lord thy God will send the hornet among them until they are left and hide themselves from thee, be destroyed. Interesting verse. This is really Revelation-esque. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty man, and terrible and awesome. And the Lord thy God will put out those nations before thee by little and little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. Huh. So I know there was some verses in chapters and later. I think it's in. Actually, I don't know uh, where they couldn't drive out certain people. But look at this. It says that they're going to destroy them with a mighty destruction. God's going to do a mighty work and destroy them with a mighty destruction. So this isn't just like the people fighting. This is God fighting. So he's not going to forget this until they be destroyed. And shall deliver he shall deliver their kings into thine hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. there shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. The graven image of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee. This is before Josh, uh, Joshua. A lot of this stuff is like happening before Joshua happens, and when Joshua, the book is why I'm reading that, it's gonna be like, whoa, God already predicted this. God already said this. Wow. And later on, it gets worse because the graven images are never really taken down after many, many kings. And so God eventually, he does the taking down and gets them out of the land. Uh, but he never forgets those people. He never forgets his people, even though they were out of the land. That um, the graven images of their gods ye shall burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination unto thy Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So the groves are a cursed thing, the high places are a cursed thing. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware to your fathers, and thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to assuage thee, to know that what was in thine heart, to keep, whether thou would keep his commandments or no. And he humbled himself, and he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee known that man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord, that man may live. Hold on. Thy raiment waxed not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Thou shalt not consider in thine heart, as a man chastens his son, so the Lord chastened thee. Therefore thou shalt keep the commandment of the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to fear him. And for the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring up out of the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, a land and um, and vines and fig trees. I love fig trees and pomegranates. Love that. And a land of oil, olive, and honey. Awesome. A land wherein thou shalt eat uh, bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack anything in it. a land whose stones are iron, and who and out of those hills thou mayest dig brass. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless the Lord thy God for the good land which he hath given thee. Okay. Oh, my eyes. And I'm supposed to read another. Oh, I'm on in the 8th chapter. This is, and I'm supposed to read the whole. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you know what? I'm gonna take a break after the 11th chapter, and then I'll try to finish this tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to read it. Regularly read it. Not read it out loud. It's too much. You know what? Let me take a small break here. I'm not even. Uh, wow. Oh, it's killing me. How many verses are in this chapter? Huh? Do we have another 60 verses? All right. It's doable. I was just reading a lot of big jumbo chapters. Let's go ahead and. Okay. All right, we'll start verse 11. Okay. Beware that thou forgettest not the Lord thy God, not all, not in keeping his commandments and statutes and his uh, judgments and statutes which I have commanded thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein. Verse 13. When thy herds and thy flocks multiplied, and and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, whereupon fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there is no water, where who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee to do thee good, or wait, this is like very close to Jeremiah chapter 29:11, and it's kind of snuck it in there. He might humble thee, and that he might prove thee to do thee good at thy latter end. Wow. And thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand hath gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto his fathers, as it is this day. Verse 19 at the top. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them, and worship them, I testify against you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and the nations which the Lord destroyed before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go and possess the nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, the people great and tall, and the children of Anakim, who thou knowest, and of whom thou heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart after that the Lord thy God uh, hath cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me into possess this land, but for the wickedness of these nations the Lord doth drive them out before thee. That's why maybe even the women and children weren't spared, because of the wickedness, just like in the wickedness of the people in Genesis chapter 6. Not for thy righteousness, or for the uprightness of thine heart doth thou go to possess their land, but the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand therefore that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this land, or this good land, to possess it for thy righteousness, and for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness. Like that 10 times they did that, if not more, from the day which that the Lord did depart out of the land of Egypt, until ye came into this place. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you, when I was gone into the mount to receive the tablets of stone, even the tablets of the covenant which the Lord made with you. Then abode in the mountain 40 days and 40 nights, neither did I eat any bread nor drink any water. And the Lord delivered me into the 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to the words which the Lord spake with you on the mount in the midst of the fire the day of the assembly. Verse 11. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me the two tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from the tent, for that thy people which hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I have commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven, and I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the two tables of stone were in my two hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord had commanded you. Wow. So God confirmed his covenant with them, and then they still just turned their backs, not even within 40 days, pretty much, or maybe even less. And I took the two stable of tablets, tables, and I cast them out of my two hands and break them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord as at first at the first 40 days and 40 nights. Neither did I eat any bread nor drink any water because of all your sin, which ye have um, sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and the hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time, at the same time, also at the same time, and I took your sin, the calf which you made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it to the ground, and grounded it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust therefore thereof into the brook that descended out of the mountain, and at Tabarat and Massa, and at Kir Havata. Ye have provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which you have given you, then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened unto his voice. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Oh man, crazy. And the Lord did all this stuff, and they just didn't care. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. So I prayed therefore unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, destroy not the people and thine inheritance which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought up forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not upon the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest up out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he had uh, brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet there are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest up out of thy out by a mighty power and an outstretched arm, and by thy outstretched arm. See the awesome intercessory prayer that Moses prayed, and without him they would have already been destroyed. Without his prayers, without his intercession, without his fasting, without his heart for them, they would have already been destroyed. Even a stiff-necked people that really didn't want anything to do with the Lord, he was praying for them, even though they probably didn't deserve it. At that time the Lord said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood, and I will write on the tables of the words which were in the first tables thou breakest, and put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went into the mount, having two tables in my hand. And he wrote the on the tables according to the first the 10 commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount, in the midst of the fire, and in the day of the assembly of the Lord gave them unto me. Verse 5, and I turned myself and came down uh, from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be, as the Lord commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Beeroth of the children of Jachan to Mazarah. There Aaron died, and he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered in the priest office in his stead. From thence they journeyed unto uh, Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jotbath, a land of rivers of water. And at that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi hath no part or inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according to the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandment of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord thy God, the earth also with all that therein is. Only the Lord had delight in thy fathers to love them after he chose their seed after him, even you above all the people as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked, for the Lord your God is God of gods, and Lord of lords, and a great God, and mighty, and terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow, and loveth the stranger, and giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Israel, in Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God. Him shalt thou serve, and to him thou shalt cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy God, that hath done for thee these great and terrible things which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with the 70 persons, and now the Lord thy God hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude. Last chapter, and then break time. Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge and his statutes and his uh, judgment and his commandments always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, this greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his act which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses and unto their chariots, and how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until ye came into this place, and what he did unto you, unto Dathan and Abiram, and to the sons of Eliab and the sons of Reuben, and how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and their substance that was in their possession in the midst of Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land whither ye go to possess it, that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land whither thou goest to possess it is not as a land of Egypt, from whence ye came, uh, where thou sowedst thy seed and waterest it with thy foot as a garden of herbs. With thy, but the land where you go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the plain of the rain of heaven. Verse 12. A land which the Lord thy God careth for you. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I have commanded you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, and the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil, and I will send grass in the field for the cattle, and thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. Then the Lord your God's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up these words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hands, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes, and ye may teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in the house, and when thou uh, walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Verse 22. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before thee. From before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Verse 24. Every place whereon the sole of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river of Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea, that shall be yours. Shall be your coast be. Verse 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Behold, I send before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandment of the Lord, which which I command you this day, and a curse if you do not the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you, to go after other gods which ye have not known. Verse 29. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into in unto the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put a blessing unto Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount uh, Abel. Verse 30. Are they not on the other side Jordan, by the way their son goeth down in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the, the campaign over against Gilgal, and the beside the plains of Moreh? For ye shall go over Jordan to go to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth to you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein, and ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. Okay, so we caught up, but we're gonna be behind anyway because it's 11. It's almost 12, so if I finish it within 20 minutes, which I'm not, although I don't know, I could. Maybe not. Probably not. So day 14 and 15 tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna read day 14, so expect that. I want to try to get it done. We'll have a lot more time. Today I still didn't have a lot of time to read. Um, there was some meetings my wife had to go to, and it was kind of back to back, sort of kind of thing, and so that prevented me a little bit. But it's okay because I was hungry anyway. So I'm gonna not skip. I'm just gonna read it on my own, and we'll do day 15 uh, later on tonight. So you have a great, blessed day tomorrow, and take it easy.